Welcome back to the Shields program video series for biological control of alfalfa snout beetle. This video will be the second in a series of training videos to teach you how to rear your own nematodes for field release. In this video, I will go through the timeline and steps we suggest you follow to have a successful field application of nematodes. I will also describe to you the two available options for you to rear nematodes for your own field application. I'd like to stress from the start, communication is essential throughout the entire process, as nothing ever goes as planned. Being able to be flexible will make the process easier in the long term. As farmers, you realize plans sometimes do not go as intended. This can be the case when trying to rear nematodes as a biological control strategy against the alfalfa snout beetle. The first step in the process is determining when you'll be harvesting a field or fields you intend to apply nematodes to. Once this has been decided, you need to contact our lab to set up a schedule to begin rearing nematodes. Based on the number of field or fields you intend to inoculate, we'll determine how many starter cups or cadavers you will need to receive from our lab. This schedule will be based on information you provide to maximize the viability of the IJs being reared for your field application. 17 to 21 days before you harvest, you need to decide how many fields you plan to inoculate with nematodes. You can communicate this with the Shields lab and decide on using starter cups or cadavers as your field cup source for IJs. 10 to 14 days before you harvest, order the waxworm field cups to arrive 1 to 3 days before you actually cut the fields. Within 24 to 48 hours of actually cutting your field, inoculate those field cups and then store them in a dark, cool place between 65 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Try not to go over 80 degrees Fahrenheit or you could kill the nematodes in the cup. 3 days later, check for 90 to 100% death within each cup. 12 to 14 days after those field cups have been inoculated, you should see evidence of the new IJs emerging inside the cup or over the lids. 3 to 7 days after you have emergence, those field cups are ready to be washed and the nematodes collected for your field application. There are two sources for getting nematodes from our lab to infect the field cups you will receive and use for field application. The first option would be getting starter cups, which will be infected in our lab, then mailed to you prior to your harvest. The second option would be using infected cadavers that I generate in the lab and then mail to you again prior to your field being harvested. Starter cups are 16-ounce waxworm cups which have been infected in our lab with each nematode species we use in the field inoculation. Once IJs emerge inside those cups, you can collect them and then apply them to your field cups. Those field cups will generate the IJs necessary for your field application. Cadavers are also generated from our lab. This option is available to you. It's different from the starter cups because there is no collecting or washing to inoculate your field cups. With cadavers, all you do is, once they arrive, is seed each field cup with 10 cadavers, add some water, then wait for some newly emerging IJs to kill the waxworms. Once field cups are dead, the IJs will emerge 17 to 21 days later, which will indicate the field cups are ready for field use. This first video shows how to work with the starter cup option. These steps should allow you to generate the necessary IJs for a successful field application. Hello, and I'm here today to show you how you can inoculate your field cups for your field applications. Right here I have a cup of infected Galeria that I will ship to you when you're ready for your field applications. Today I'm going to use, first off, these starter cups. And what I'll do here is, when you take off the lid, nematodes should be emerging inside the cups, around the edges of the cup, as well as on the lids of the cup. First step you're going to do is you're going to take the lid and you're going to take a paintbrush that I mentioned before, and you are going to just gently scrape around the edges where you see the yellow film, which indicates there are nematodes there. So just gently scrape around it, and then you want to place it into your container that has non-chlorinated water. Again, remember, non-chlorinated water is very important in dealing with nematodes. So you can do it that way. And you can also do, if there's a lot of nematodes on the lid, you can also take your water and you can actually rinse your lid into another container to collect all the IJs that are on that lid. You can also do it with the ones in the cup if you're very careful. That's sometimes where it's best to use a paintbrush around the edges. Sometimes if you try to tilt this over, the wax worms on the top can be loose and they'll fall in, and you just kind of get your sample all messed up with sawdust and dead cadavers. So that's why I want to use the paintbrush inside the lid. Same thing though, rinse it, dunk it into your water, and then you're good to go. So I have my container here full of nematodes. Put this other stuff off to the side. So now you have ordered your other cups that you're going to actually use for your field inoculation. So these are the field cups, and these are your live Galeria. Kind of see them squiggling around in there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my little container full of nematodes and non-chlorinated water, and I'm going to inoculate the cup. First off, I'm going to use, just to kind of show you, is a syringe. And I'm only going to do 10 milliliters or 10 cc's here, so I can use the other examples. So I fill it up to 10 cc's, and I'm just going to try to cover the entire top of the sawdust with the material. Same thing works with the dosing dropper. I'm going to take, this one holds 5 milliliters or 1 teaspoon. Take it and just squirt it on top, maybe around the edges. Again, the most important thing is to make sure you have total coverage on the surface. And the last thing I'll use is this measuring spoon. This is 1 tablespoon or 15 mils. So I'm going to fill this to the rim. And one thing you want to remember when you have your container of IJs is you always want to keep it a little agitated so the IJs inside don't settle to the bottom. So now I have them in my measuring spoon. I'm just going to soak again the top of the field cup here. Once I'm done, I'm going to close the lid. I'm going to label it with the species, and this is the Feltii, so we're going to go SF, and then today's date, which is the 29th for this video. Okay? Obviously, you're going to have a lot more cups than one. You're going to have, anywhere from 8 to 40 cups that you're going to want to do for each species, depending on what you decide to do for your farm. That's going to affect the amount of stock that you're going to collect using the IJs that you're getting from the starter cups. So if you're going to be putting on 20 mils per cup, you're just going to multiply that out. If you have 20 cups you need to inoculate, you're going to need 400 mils of liquid. And that's why you want to use whatever big container you can to collect everything into. Okay? So that's all you got to do for the using of the starter cups.
The second video shows how to use the cadavers as the device to inoculate your field cups. While this option has yet to be tested for field application, lab studies show this to be a viable option to inoculate your field cups.
Hello again. Today I'm going to show you how you inoculate your field cups using the dead cadavers that you may request from our lab. So if you read or looked at the other video, you knew that you had ordered the field cups in advance of when you plan on harvesting. If you have those in hand, and you also have the cadavers that I sent you, you're ready to go. So you're going to take your cups of live Galeria, and again they kind of look like kind of white, and they're moving around, so you know they're alive. Everything looks good. Just a little like fish bait that you might use when you go fishing. And what you're going to do with the cadavers is you're going to take the container that I sent you, and what you're going to do is you're going to partition out 10 of them for each cup that you have. So you have 8 cups that you want to inoculate. You're going to need 80 of the cadavers. Each one of these cups I send you will have approximately 200, 250 dead cadavers that you can use. So there should be plenty for whatever you need. So I'm using my forceps here, and you can use whatever you have to count out 10. All right, so now I have those in there. Put my other ones off to the side because I don't need them anymore. I'm going to take my dead cadavers, and I'm just going to basically seed my cup by throwing them on there, maybe separating them out a little bit, make sure when the IJs start emerging from the dead cadavers that you get pretty good coverage inside the cup. Just seeding them, dropping them on there, spreading them out. Should be good to go. Next, you want to add excuse me, some moisture to the cups. So Each cup will get 20 mils of non-chlorinated water. You have to remember to always use non-chlorinated water, or you risk killing the juveniles that might emerge from the cadavers. So I have my little container here with about 20 mils of water. I'm going to use one of the syringes that you might have requested from us, or if you have a measuring spoon, that works just as well. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to use the syringe. Take my syringe, fill it up to 10 milliliters or 2 teaspoons. And just cover the top of the sawdust. Try to get it as wet as possible. Try to get the entire top covered. For the other 10 mils, I'm going to use my measuring spoon and just fill it up. I might need a little bit more water here. It's okay to have more water than not. And again, I'm just making sure the top layer is wet. Once I have that done, and you can kind of see maybe the dead cadavers are sitting on top of the live ones, take my lid, close it up. I'm going to label it so I know which species is in the cup. For this particular one, we use the Feltii, so I'm going to label SF, and today's date, which is the 29th. And there you go. That's the second method that you can use for inoculating your field cups using cadavers.
If you have any questions, please contact me by email or by phone, and I will be happy to help you out. Any further questions can be directed to your local county agent. Thank you very much.